Flying Fox Fruits here with a video that is based on propagation. This is a propagation information video. And I got Chris on the camera, Freedom Fruits, Chris Lehman, Freedom Fruits. And a lot of people are anxious to learn about grafting and propagation. It's really not so much how to cut the plant as it is like aftercare and little steps and tips about how to care for it or where to put it or what time of year to do it. I'm doing this video now just to very quickly run through some graphs of some things that I normally wouldn't like to graft this time of year because it's too hot and humid, basically. Avocado is a good example. If I had an avocado to graft right now, I'd be like, I don't think it's gonna graft. I don't think it's gonna take. I would rather wait until fall or spring or winter or something. Winter or fall, I think is better. But don't take it from me. I'm not an avocado grafting pro. Show him real quick. That's Hot Shot. He always comes and steals the show. He's like pecking on stuff, begging. Isn't he funny? I want to hold him so bad. You know, his feet, his talons are sharp.
Do chickens have sharp talons?
He's got sharp talons. Man, that smells good, whatever's being cooked. All right, that was my ADD moment. So basically the reason I'm doing this video is to show you some things that I normally wouldn't graft this time of year, but we're doing it anyway. Sometimes you have no choice. You got some cuttings from a friend, or you were at some place and the guy gave you cuttings and you accidentally took them and put them in your pouch at the blah, 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 and you had to take some cuttings and you had no choice. Or someone sent you some cuttings maybe, okay? You had no choice and you had to graft them when you had them. So that's why we're doing this. And we're gonna do a follow-up video to show you if any of these took. I'm gonna show you where I'm putting them and why, and put the logic behind it, and put reason behind everything. Let's go. So I think we're gonna graft loquat, jabuticaba, and an annona. I'm gonna do one of these for a friend. He asked me to go ahead and graft this annona. I'm like, dude, we can't graft it this time of year. As soon as I say that, someone goes and grafts it. So we'll take a nice upright cutting, knock it on back. There's a good scion, we threw that away. And then we'll knock off these, just gently pull down and expose these buds. There's buds inside there at each node. So we've got a cutting, that's the pet pack chong. Rootstock right here, let's go. Here's one, this is some kind of cherimoy rootstock. All right, that's the first one, let's knock it out. Now, I normally would do a cleft graft, but being that it's an off time of year, I'm going to just do a veneer graft. So let's do this real quick. You want to come on that side? Yeah. So we'll take our instrument and sanitize it. You got a blowtorch?
I do.
I'm just kidding around. This is the tape. I'm not going to wear it or anything. I'm just going to get some tape off here. This chicken is dancing around us. He's making me nervous like he wants some. They like to eat the buddy tape. Be warned. Okay. You got to let that knife get the alcohol evaporate. Don't cut with wet alcohol on it. I'm wiping it off and reinfecting the blade with my shirt saliva, my shirt juice. Look at this obsessive compulsive. Does this make sense, Chris, that I'm doing it twice, then reinfecting? Okay. This is what I do every time, guys. It's a ritual. Stainless, Italy. Can you believe that? I think I got that off of eBay for 30 bucks. Did you get the same one?
Yes.
It took me a while to get the edge right. The edge, I didn't like it. The factory edge, I didn't like it. So, okay, one more time. This is, I figure, my cleanest part of my shirt. Maybe a little dandruff at best. But there's no dirt up there, all right? So it's dry right now. Okay. So, we're going to do a slight cut along here. We did this in the other video. Don't cut too far deep in or it'll be a problem. Straight down, okay? Then we cut back into our cut to get that little piece out there. Then we do a cut that is similar on this one. So bust this off here. Let me take off some of this. I need my clippers. My clippers. This is in my way. You wouldn't believe it, but that's in my way, and that's in my way. That's in my way. That's in my way. And so is this. And then I take this. I want to do it just like that. And then, look, you just come straight down and then come on the other side like that. That's about it. that could work. I'm gonna run it up a little higher, like that. Okay. Now, let's see how they come together. Like Voltron, that happens to be the head. That's it. If it's got a chance, it's got a chance. That's tight like a tiger. And then you start wrap at the bottom. You notice how I didn't wrap the scion like until it's still bare, it's still open. I didn't pre-wrap that scion. You're learning all them little tricks and tips and stuff, player. Yeah. So I'm right now. Don't pull too hard on this. Don't pull too hard. Too bad this isn't a live stream. I wish I could do live stream with any quality, so people could ask questions. So I'm just going over this and binding them together. The chickens are getting saucy lately. Did you know this? Tony, a seal chicken, he was on top of on the house, basically on the roof, and he jumped off from like 10 feet, landed, and he was crowing. He was crowing. One of the seals was crowing.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, no, it's a farm thing. He wouldn't understand. These people wouldn't understand. Only certain viewers understand. Now, we wrap from the bottom and press it right up against it. You wrap it right to the tree. Look at that. Make sure to overlap, wrap thin, and go ahead and wrap it right to the tree, Chris. Have you seen this technique before? Isn't that refreshing? You thought you had to wrap all of them pre-wrapped. No, you can wrap them to the tree, okay? That's refreshing. That's what I like to say is refreshing. As a farmer,
It is.
it's just nice to see a different tactic or technique or something that brought you success or joy in life that you can share with other people. You know it? I think I do.
That's interesting.
It's interesting. It's provocative. That's what I'd say. Something that gets your mind going. Something that stirs your imagination. Now, if this takes, that's going to be fancy because I really don't. I wouldn't bet on it taking. Not high. Like, all right, maybe it will take because I've done them before and they've taken this time of year. But if I had to graft 1,000 trees, I wouldn't do it this time of year. I would wait for the winter or spring, depending on your location, all that kind of stuff. Winter or spring seems to be well for me. But I've seen people in California graft them almost all the time. So I'm going to put that in some good sunlight and just kind of pray. Let's put it over. I'll show you where I'm going to put it. Just right over here on the ground. Next to this. If a chicken doesn't mess it up. Boom, right there. It gets morning sun and then a little shade. I got the scion positioned out that way towards the sun. Let's see if it takes. Next. Let's do the loquat. I figure I'll graft a Palucci, huh? Everybody wants a frickin' Palucci. And those are hard to graft this time of year. Here's a rootstock over here. This one looks like junk, doesn't it? Rootstock. Rootstock. Let's just do a regular old cleft graft on these. I gotta hurry this up. Here's your tree. Let's get a cutting. Get a sicon. Here's one. I'll take it. Boom. Sicon. My Scion. Remember those cars?
Yeah.
That's what Ice Cube drives. My Scion. I think about that every time I graft a fruit tree. My niece drives a Scion. So I cut that rootstock back, pop these off. Now this looks interesting where it's got this little nub up here. I don't know. Let's see if I can keep that on. It's strong. I tested that to see if it was going to get busted off when I went to wrap it. I don't need it though. I see these other nubs. I'm going to leave it on. I'm stupid like that. All right, wrap it from the bottom to the top. This one we're going to have to wrap the cutting right now. Wrap it up, wrap it up, wrap it up. Now, usually I wouldn't be grafting these this time of year because it's just a little too hot and humid. And the heat and the humidity, just fungus kills them out. But you can do it. I've had to do it. You can do it. We can do it. We can try. I'm going to put this in part shade for sure. I don't know. Maybe that's a bad idea. Maybe you're supposed to put it in more sunlight. But the heat's going to nuke it. If it gets over 100 degrees, it's done. So I think the Pet Pack Chon could take the heat. That's why I went full sun with that. But this one I'm putting in part shade, getting some good morning sun. I got a spot for it. I'll just put it over here, like near the front. Okay, that's wrapped up. I did the best I could. Let's do a quick cleft graft. Let's sanitize our blade. This is just to get off that the juices from the other tree. I've heard juices from one tree can be negative or affect negatively the next scion that you cut. Like the sap from an annona may not be good to contact of loquat. Do you understand?
Yes.
There may be toxic juices in the annona that get onto the cambium of it.
Anti-productive.
Yeah, it may cause problems. So I don't know. This may get your knife dirty too, but I wipe off any excess. It's humid right now and it's not evaporating, so I'm wiping my knife off on my shoulder. It's a little quirk I have. I don't think it's causing any problems. So we're just gonna do like a normal cleft graft, and you see the diameter of one is smaller than the other. So this is why I do these long cuts. Let's see if I can do it. You put it right in the middle, you dead center it, then you don't really cut, you split. And then this is what I like to call steering the knife. If it goes one way or the other, keep it down the middle and steer the knife. And watch what's going on. I'm steering that knife. Steer it. Go right, go left. I gotta go that way. All right, I split it about a 2.5 inch. See that? And it's not a straight cut. That's all sorts of wonky. It's got a zigzag. But now look here. I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna run down just a thin cut. Like just real thin now, not all the way through. Now I'm gonna flip it over, make sure on the exact opposite side, and do another thin little cut, not all the way in. Then I run down with a long cut there and like a short cut right here. It's almost there. And then knock off that bottom. Let's see how it comes together. Let's see if I can pull it together without looking too wonky. Look crazy. It may work. Let's just go with it. Let's go with it. It's good enough. It looks disgusting, but I like it. I want to just go with it because I said so. I see some cambium contact. I'm gonna pull it up a little bit. Let me let it sit there. Let's see if it takes. I don't care anymore, guys. That's how I do sometimes. I get lazy. Wrap it from the bottom to the top. Make sure that everything lines up. You can wiggle things into place as you're going. Make it align. Make sure to wiggle and align. And make sure to seal. I'm gonna have to go back over it again. That wasn't a good seal. I think that's got a chance if it doesn't get too hot. That's a Palucci loquat. Now I'm grafting at a certain time of year right now that I think is too hot and too humid. Let's see if I can pull this off, guys. We're gonna do an update video. I don't have a lot of faith though. We're gonna do a jobbity cob and call it a day. Don't you think, Chris? One more?
Oh, yes.
Three's a magic number? Yeah, I think so. You know, what kind of jobbity cobba should I graft? You got me wondering. You got my mind, my wheels spinning. I'm gonna graft the mosey. I'm gonna try to graft that mosey because I don't really have a lot of those at all. I'm going over that hole at the bottom, like that gap I had many times, and I might be suffocating the tree or pinching it, you know, girdling it. I may be killing it by doing this too much, but it's just fun. It's all learning experience, guys. Let me see if this I can see through. Yeah, there's a gap at the bottom and a gap up there. I'm gonna go over that a couple more times, guys, for the record. Couple more times at the bottom. You see me being conservative with this buddy tape. You know it's 20-year-old. No, sorry, it's like 40-year-old. I think there are gaps at the bottom of this. Let me see. Okay, there is a slight gap at the bottom, but we're going. You can't see that. There is a hole though. If you hold it up real quick, like in this, you see how there's a light shining through it at the. Can you show that on the camera even?
Yep.
You can kind of. Sorry if I hold it still. Yeah, and if I put my hand behind it, it will help. Anyway, I'm leaving it like that because it's got good contact. We're leaving the hole at the bottom, guys. I've had them take like that. So let's go put this in the shade somewhere safe, Chris. Oh, God. This is so stressful, people. This is stressful, people. Oh, goodness. I don't know where. This is like a chicken laying an egg. I don't know where. All right. I think I know where to lay at. Over here. Right in here somewhere. Right over there. It's gonna get some morning action and then shade from this tree. That's where I put it. That's the east. It's gonna get morning and then a break maybe. And it's still kind of hot though. We'll see what happens. Oh, let's scrap the jobbity cob and call it a day. Let's get the root stock over here, Chris. How much time does it say?
About 15 minutes.
Okay, I can get this done in 6 minutes. All right, we're getting a rootstock right here. This is a Sabra. Okay, let's keep going, guys. Careful where you walk. Okay. Look at this tree over here. Is there any fruit on it? That's a Muntingia, fruiting size. Yeah, there's some, but they ain't ready. That got burnt by the grill. The flames of the grill. We had steaks cooking and we burnt our Muntingia calabura. All right, now let's get this trim. Let's knock it on back. I want to graft in. Excuse me, I'm burping over here. Let me get this cut back here, guys. A little indigestion from that. I had some rice and beans and eggs on the skillet, bud. So I cut this back to where I think it may be decent. You know what? Let's get groovy with it all the way down there. Now we got to get us a scion of a what? A Curtis Mosey's tree? Okay. Mosey hybrid. I got one of them. I don't want to take too big of a cutting because I don't want to risk it not taking. Oh, don't you hate doing this to your tree? We'll take this one because no one will notice that. No one saw it. Oh, I have to put this in the bonfire. No one can see. Okay. There's a scion. Okay. Let's go. Wrap it from the bottom to the top. There's a little dead piece here. I'm gonna cut that off. I like these shears. See if I can make this tape go the whole distance. I don't think so. I gotta have faith though. Imagine sitting here and having to wrap 500. Kind of annoying, wouldn't you say? I did it, Chris. I made it go the distance.
Therapeutic.
He's going the distance. He's grafting for speed. He's all alone in a time of losing his monetization and need. I'm like the bum who shaves with a knife. Okay. This chicken's been getting in the tree. Okay, now I'm gonna slip it in like this, I think. I fancy it like this, okay? Because I think it's gonna be balanced when it takes, you know, because it's protected by not sticking out and getting knocked by somebody, you know, when you position it in like this. And then it can just branch out from here and you'll never notice. So I do a small cut to match this. Chicken part. A little difficult, Chris. I did what I wanted to do, I think. Sucker right there. Now I gotta put that there and I'll watch you here. Let's see if I can pull this off like I used to do when I was a kid. Oh! Oh, goody. You want to cut real flat now, people out there watching kids. Watch yourself. Okay? Oh, gosh. This is like a... We're just going to pray for this one. If it doesn't take, it's probably because I cut it like a dummy. Like a dummy. Let's come around on this other side, Chris. Watch it come together. Watch it come together like magic. Is there a gap in there? No, it looks all right. Kind of magical, maybe. Not, possibly. All right, let's get that wrapped up and put it in the shade and pray. And then we're going to do a follow-up video and see if any of these grafts took. This one I'm going to put right underneath the mother tree so I can get some morning shade, sun, I think. Let me take a look. This is a grafted Mosey's hybrid jabuticaba. But I believe it's a hybrid between the Grimmel and the red that occurred naturally. Either here at my farm, I twisted this around so it's going the wrong way, like I said anyway. Sometimes it just ends up how it ends up. You think it's gonna be one way and then there's a This doesn't have to be wrapped real tight because it was a good connect. Let's just see how this comes together. Push it down a little bit. I'm gonna do one more layer because I'm obsessive with this stuff, guys. Okay, one more layer just to bring it all together there, like that. There. And then walk away. Walk away. Let's go put this in the shade and pray. Graft that scion up and then walk away. I'm gonna just put it right under here, man. She was grafting on the back porch and the sign wouldn't wrap up. I left my heart in the trailer park and I grafted the sign on her freaking tree. All right, guys. I appreciate it. This is just my tips on where and how and what to graft and see if this maybe takes, even though this isn't the right time of year. I appreciate Chris Lehman at Freedom Fruits for filming. Alliteration, maybe. Flying Fox Fruits. Frick yeah. All right, take care, friends. That's fine.